Here we have verse 20 of the 18th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus is dealing with matters related to the church. He's been discussing the matter of resolving disputes, which might eventually wind up in front of the church. He's given instruction about who is the greatest in the life of the church. Here he gives a final concluding remark that has to do with the number of people maybe that needs to gather together to represent a legitimate gathering of the church. So we have this statement here, who. This is indeclinable adverb. It means where. Postpositive gar for where. Asin from ami, I am. Third person plural. Present active indicative. So where they are. And then the subject of the verb duo, a trace, two or three. So where two or three are. Sunegmenoi. This is from sunago. Ago, of course, means to lead. Sunago, to lead together. The word synagogue comes from this. It usually has the idea of a gathering. And that's important. This has to do with, at least implies a little bit of a bit of formality. A gathering together is in a synagogue or something like that. So we're two or three, minimal number necessary, and yet when it's gathered, Jesus says ace, preposition with the accusative to amon, into the of me. This is actually an adjective. It is a little bit more weighty. Into the of me, onima, of me name, again implies this is a gathering for worship. It's not simply two Christians talking at the street corner, that sort of idea. But where they're gathering for worship, then Jesus says eke, another indeclinable adverb, me, I am, in, preposition with the dative, meso, midst, in, midst, outtone of them. Of course, Jesus is present everywhere by Orthodox Christian understanding. He's omnipresent as the second person of the Trinity, but this is implying rather the sense in which he is in some peculiar sense present in a gathering of worship. We understand that Jesus' presence everywhere is still distinguishable from the sense in which his special presence and sanction are implied in connection with gathering for worship. And that's clearly what this verse is pointing to. When even two or three people gather for the distinct purpose of worshiping into the name of Jesus, then his sanction is present, his affirming presence is going to be felt in whatever takes place. And that, of course, goes back to the idea that there is a kind of authority that's connected to the presence of Christ to bind and to loose, to conduct the business of God's people here on earth. And this is a rather concluding remark in connection with that particular understanding.